What's up, Spectacle fans? This is a video about how to put together all of your footage from a family vacation or a family day. Simple, easy. This is not something that a professional photographer or videographer should be watching. This is for everyone who takes video with their phones and then the footage just lives on the phone and they don't know what to do with it. What I'm going to be talking about does not require you to have any special cameras or equipment, microphones, none of that. These easy steps don't require you to have any kind of special gear. Gear is overrated. This is the first location, this river here, and we're just coming down here for a regular little family day. All right, first off, keep that phone horizontal. Do not film vertically. This is a rule to follow. It is a rule to live by. Keep the subject that you're focused on in the center of the frame. Don't put their face in the center of the frame or else you get too much headspace. Make sure that the entirety of your subject is centered. It'll make for way better footage. You don't have to cut all the time. Sometimes, like in this clip, you can keep it on a subject, and then when you want to move, you can just move the camera down and get the next action. Here's another example of that. So I'm filming, and I sit here long enough to where I know I'm going to use it, and I move down to the kids. And that way you're not messing with your phone jumping around. When you feel comfortable, you can get little moving artsy shots. Just make sure that whatever you want to be the focus is in the center. Artsy shots like these ones here, I don't really use. I always get them, and every once in a while I'll sneak one in, but I mean, it's up to you, whatever you like. When it comes to movement, you can do multiple things within one shot. So like here, I'm still, and then I start to move. And that way, I give myself options later when I edit. Shots don't have to be absolutely perfect. Like this shot here is kind of dark, but I still ended up using it in my final. You can still tell what's going on. When you have a lot of movement, try to keep it all in the shot. So like there's the girls and here's the tiger, and I try to keep them both in frame so you can see them watching the movement. And then I go back. Today we're at a new location. We're at Day Creek, and it's just a little creek with some rocky beach area, and the kids are gonna play here for hours. So they're gonna have a lot of fun, and I'm gonna capture it. These kind of spots are my favorite because they lead to a kind of exploration from the kids, and that gives them like a genuine look of interest. It doesn't look like they're just phoning it in for whoever's filming. Here's an example of making a subject the focus of your shot. So there's a lot of people moving around behind her, but I'm focused on her in the front. So when she moves, I move. And I try to walk as smoothly as possible without moving my phone or my arms all around. You don't always have to talk or interact with your subjects. Just let them explore. Like here, my daughter, I just let her crawl on the edge of the creek, let her do her thing. So here's an example of me doing the opposite of that. So I saw her playing with this boat, so I walk over, and me walking over is a shot that I can use. And then I let her continue into the river, just kind of let her do her thing. And then I start asking her questions after I have that shot. And they're simple questions like, what are you doing? So she starts showing me this boat. And then I ask to see the writing on the side, and she's trying to position it and show me. And then when I'm done, I just let her keep doing her thing. Now it's time for editing. I suggest that you download Adobe Rush to your phone because it's perfect for this kind of project. Adobe Rush is $120 a year. That might seem like a lot, but it does a lot. I'm not going to do a tutorial on how to use Adobe Rush because there's a lot of those on YouTube. You can go there and watch them. There's no need for me to film the 1000th and 1th video on what to do. When you're editing, remember to use clean cuts. You don't need to use transitions for these projects. You don't need to use any strange dissolves or George Lucas Star Wars wipes. You don't need that. When you're editing, try not to put the same kind of shots together. So if your kid is center frame, don't cut to another clip where your kid is center frame. You want to put the center frame clip and then cut to a wide shot and then maybe cut to two people and then cut back to him being center frame. That way it doesn't look so jumpy and confusing. It'll give your video a better flow. The first time you do this and when you're learning how to use the editing program that you've chosen, just drop the audio. You don't need it. Try setting your footage just to music at first, and then you can ease into navigating how to edit audio because that's a whole other thing. Adobe has a stock library that you can pull music from. I've never used it. I use artlist.io, and that's $200 a year, and that's my favorite. With Adobe Rush and Artlist, that's $320. And that might sound like a lot, but if you were to come to me and say, hey, I want you to cut together a family video out of this footage, I would charge you $300 because I have to go through all the footage, I have to lay it out, I have to find music, I have to export it, get your revisions, and the whole process would be time consuming for me since I don't know what you've shot. So for the same price, you could get those programs and make your own videos, as many as you want. It may seem like it costs a lot, but you get a lot. How you put your videos together is up to you. Personally, I like to cut up each event or day into sections and then put them in a row. So you'd have day one, I'd use all those clips from day one, and then day two, I use all the clips I want to use for day two, and then day three, and so on and so on. And that way it just kind of gives it a structure that I like. You can take all of your highlights that you like and you can mismatch them. It all comes down to personal preference. Also, keep your clips short. You don't need these long clips with your kids running in and out of the room. Just stick to the highlights, the things that are going to be interesting to watch. And remember, this is an edited video. If it's not enough for you when you're watching it later, you can always go back and watch your original clips. When you get into color correcting your footage, remember that a little bit goes a long way. You don't want to move those sliders very much, just a little bit, just to give it a bump. It'll seem like it looks good while you're doing it, but then when you put it up on a TV or when other people watch it, if you over color correct, the video is just going to look weird. So a little bit goes a long way. The first time you do this, try not to use any color presets or filters. Those are mostly there for people who plan on using those. Just keep it simple, take the footage from your phone, and just do manual color correction on each clip. That way your kid's skin tone will look normal. This isn't Fight Club. You don't have to put on the grainy green fluorescent filter. So if you follow this format and keep it simple, you should end up with something like this.
I slept all night on a big white ship. Seagulls were dancing all around. I woke up with a sunrise on the sea. Such a priceless gift to me. The salty breeze and the waves, the slow pace, the salty breeze and the waves. I'm not a right place. Yesterday we followed the road of the moon. We drove all day towards the coast. remembered me, the beauty of this life. Such a feeling to be alive. The salty breeze in my lungs, and back to where I'm from. The salty breeze in my lungs, on and on and on and on. Salty breeze and the waves, the slower pace. The salty breeze and the waves.